Hello. Oh, I forgot to share this. Let's see if I can share it real quick. Okay. There we go. All right, shared. Okay. Hi, if you're here. Hi, Forrest. If you're here, tell us you're here. We're going to talk about our recipes tonight, our favorite recipes. Hi, Amanda. I know you got some recipes. I was trying to decide how to best share them on here, though. I'm sorry. I should have done this before we started. How to best share them on our live feed. You all right?
Yeah.
Here, get you in the picture. We're in a different location tonight, as you can tell. You don't usually see our ceiling fan behind us. But I have started working at our island, our nice island with these really nice tractor seat chairs that we've got, and they're so comfortable. So I started like doing my computer work here, and it's just the most comfortable place in the house to do it. And so I said, hey, why don't we do our live stream from here tonight, because it'll be more comfy. So that's where we are.
Yep.
Is it comfy?
Yeah.
Do you like this better?
Mm-hmm.
When we do our live stream at the kitchen table, we're really like squished like on top of each other the whole time, and it's really uncomfortable. And then when we're on the couch, it's just awkward because the computer's down low and on the ottoman and stuff. So I think this is good.
Perfect.
And the lighting's pretty good here.
Yeah.
Except for my face looks like completely white, like a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm right under the light, but that's okay. Okay.
I got your man over there.
Cool. Thank you. Is my breath bad?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. It's kombucha and onions in my soup.
Mm.
Gosh.
It sounds terrible.
Okay. Anyways. So tonight we're talking about our favorite recipes. So we want you to chime in with your favorite recipes also. And I really don't know the best way of sharing our recipes unless you have like a link to a web page with a recipe, or you can just type out your recipe in the comments or on the chat, however you want to do this. I don't know what this looks like on your end while this is going on. So I don't know if they can comment or if it's just the chat. I don't know. So if you want to share a recipe, just do it however you see fit. But you want to start because you already knew what you wanted to say.
Yeah. So this is my favorite recipe, and this is from your grandma. Is that right?
I think it's just from my Aunt Jean.
Oh. It's called corny cornbread. So it's basically just regular cornbread with a can of cream corn in it. And it's very yummy.
I know. I haven't made it in a while. I need to.
Yeah. It's good with some jalapeno peppers and sausage in it too.
Yeah, that's Mexican cornbread, so that's a little different. But yeah, I'll just read this recipe to you real quick, and then maybe I'll type it out in the comments later. But it's 1 box of Jiffy cornbread mix, 2 eggs, a half a pint of sour cream. I don't know what that says. What does it say?
1 ounce can of cream corn.
What's that saying? 15 ounce?
Oh, maybe.
1 15-ounce can of creamed corn, 1 stick of melted it says margarine, but we use butter. Bake at 425 or 450 for 30 or 45 minutes, just whenever it starts looking like it's done. And it's delicious.
Mm-hmm. It's very good.
Yeah.
I could eat a whole pan of it.
We had someone over the other day for dinner, and I made my favorite cornbread recipe, which I'm going to share the link for that in a second. But I made that, and the little girl, I think it was the little girl, said, I like the kind that has corn in it. And I was like, oh, sorry. But this is my favorite kind. But so I'm going to share you the link actually in the chat for my favorite cornbread, which is the Pioneer Woman's skillet cornbread. And that is my go-to. That's what I always make. And I guess I need to make, there it is in the chat. I guess I need to make this corny cornbread again for you because it is good, but I just don't usually.
Do you think that's 15 ounces?
I don't know. What does it say? Well, it's a 15. I mean,
I think it's just a small can of, like if you bought corn from the store, it would be a small can of it, whatever that is.
But it might be 15 oounces because
we use our own corn before having.
Yeah, we'll use our own corn if we have it. Yeah.
I don't think the amounts have to be perfect.
No. This is kind of funny that we're talking about recipes because I don't follow recipes. Like,
yeah.
I used to only follow recipes and wouldn't do anything else. But now we just kind of throw things together. So.
Yeah, a little bit of cornmeal, a lot of butter, some sour cream. This time of the year, probably like 5 eggs instead of 2.
Because we need to use more eggs. Is that why? A lot of liquid for the tiny cornbread box. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very moist. Like it is a very. Yeah. It's not runny or anything like that, but it is very moist. Yeah. Cornbread, so it's not dry at all.
Yeah.
Amanda said we make that and it's really good.
I think that's why I like it, is because it's so moist.
Yeah. And I like a dry cornbread. Like I like corn muffins and stuff like that. I like that. But
it's almost like cake.
Or like a casserole. It's kind of like a corn casserole, I guess.
That's true.
What it's like.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of creamy.
So it is 15 ounce.
Hey.
Amanda says she uses one regular and one. That's for like a 9 by 13, I would imagine.
We usually do ours in a little one.
Yeah,
12. Like a square.
10 by 10 or something.
Yeah, a square. Bombs to Bushel says that they love cornbread, but the wife hates it. So don't get too much of that. But that's what I was saying. Like this is his favorite recipe, and I never fix it. So he brought that up tonight when we were talking about.
I don't mind the other one though, the skillet cornbread.
Yeah,
it's good too.
Yeah. Riley wants Sydney's peanut butter cookie recipe. They ate those cookies pretty fast today. Like
I didn't get one.
Travis didn't either.
Yeah.
Travis and Adam got back. They were doing some errands and they got back. And Travis was like, I want a cookie. I said, well, go outside and get one. Our girls and their cousins had a little tea party outside today, and Sydney made peanut butter cookies. And it's really, really easy. It's like a cup of peanut butter, a cup of sugar, and something, and I don't know, what is it? I don't even know. She makes them. Our Sydney, she just bakes all the time. But anyways, they were gone really, really quickly. Okay, so what else? Do you have more recipes? I have some, but
go for it.
Well, my grandmother's cream cheese pound cake is my favorite pound cake.
I've made that before, haven't I?
Yes, we always follow her recipe, and it's the best pound cake.
We should make one tomorrow.
I know. I'm not on Whole30 anymore, and I'm going rogue. I already had Chick-fil-A. I've done good. I mean, I've done pretty good coming off of Whole30, but Chick-fil-A was like my first real non-Whole30 meal, and it was making me feel yucky.
Yeah.
Really, it really was. Hi, Micro Farm. Hi, Kelly. So anyways, my grandmother's cream cheese pound cake has 3 sticks of butter. Yep, pound cake.
How do you? I guess Kerrygold is in sticks. Can you get Kerrygold butter in sticks?
You can, yeah. But sometimes we'll use the salted butter that comes in the blocks.
Yeah.
And just estimate. 8 ounces of cream cheese, 6 eggs, 3 cups of flour, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, vanilla, 3 cups of sugar, a dash of salt. And then you can do a cream cheese icing for it as well. But honestly, the pound cake just by itself is my favorite. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so buttery and moist, and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, really, my mouth is watering right now. Well, what now? We're talking about breads and desserts. But my go-to anytime I need a quick dessert is a chocolate chip cookie recipe from our church's cookbook, and it's so easy, and the cookies are always really good. And I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why this is different than any other chocolate chip recipe, but I always use this one because it's so good. But it's very easy. It's just you mix together the dry ingredients first, and it's 2 1/4 cup plain flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt. And then you mix together, and anyone that wants some of these recipes, if you're like, oh, hey, I really want that written down for me, I'll type those in the comments when the video is over for you. And then you mix together the wet ingredients, which is a cup of shortening, 3/4 cup sugar, 3/4 cups brown sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Mix those together, and then you put the wet and the dry ingredients together, add 2 eggs, and then put in your chocolate chips. And you bake them at 375 for 8 to 10 minutes. And they're perfect when they come out. I can see I'll be baking this week. I know, I'm getting hungry just like talking about these recipes. That is always my go-to. What is your favorite meal that I fix like on the regular? Because we have like our staples that we have every week or every other week.
Oh man, that's tough. I don't know.
I think my kind of my guilty pleasure meal that I make is the chicken and dumplings.
Yeah.
We don't get that every week or even every other week, really. But it's
I think you go to bed.
Get to bed.
I want a cookie.
But it's really delicious, and I actually did a video on that. Hi, Once Upon a Farmstead. I actually did a video, and let me real quick put that in there if y'all missed when I did a video on that. And you really might laugh at the video because, like we were just saying a few minutes ago, we don't follow recipes really well, or I don't anyways. And so when I do a recipe video, it's really like, well, you're supposed to put this in there, but if you don't have it, just do this. And this looks like about a cup. So, it might drive you crazy. If you were like a to the T recipe follower, my recipes are going to drive you nuts because I am very much a little dash of this, little sprinkle of that, and it works. So, anyways, but I posted my chicken and dumplings video recipe in there if you want to check that out. But at my dumplings. You can't bake like that. I know. Well, I don't think you're really technically supposed to bake like that. Cooking, yes. Cooking, there's a little leeway.
Yeah.
You can be creative. But baking, you're supposed to be pretty exact, and I'm just not. And it might drive people crazy. I will tell you, I'm going to post a link to my friend Jennifer's sourdough recipe, and she is the one that taught me how to do sourdough. I got my very first starter several years ago from her, and I've been using it ever since. I've never let it die or anything. It's been good, and I really love making sourdough bread. I make it,
How long have we had it? How long did you say?
3 years maybe.
Wow.
At least 2.5
Wow.
years maybe. It'll probably be 3 years this summer. I think we did it in the summertime. And so I've been making bread at least twice a week since I got it. And that's our loaf bread. That's what we use. And so let me put that in there before I forget to do it. But she's the one that taught me, and this is a really good recipe to use. But honestly, I've done it so much I don't use the recipe anymore, and I don't think I've veered off from the recipe at all. So this should be a pretty good. But it just thrilled my heart because Jennifer came over for dinner with her family the other night, and she had some of my sourdough bread. I made it fresh that night, and she was like, "Michelle, you are a good bread baker." And I was like, "Oh, that just made my day." Because, I learned from her. So that was an awesome compliment. Oh, yeah. I didn't know anything about making my own bread until I studied under Jennifer and her sourdough bread making. But I still haven't ventured out very much. I do our loaf bread. I use it to make our pizza dough. Occasionally we'll do pancakes or crepes with it, but there's so much you can do with sourdough that I just hadn't even touched on it yet. So, but oh, cool! I have a bunch of antique cookbooks from 1830s. Yeah. So I think I had something that just sparked my memory about something. I'm looking at my bookshelf right now about an old cookbook. Oh, you got something, didn't you?
It wasn't a cookbook.
Oh, okay.
It was just old ways of doing things.
Okay. I thought you said something to me recently about there's some old recipes in this. Y'all ought to look at that or something.
It might have some.
Okay.
We have that farmer's cookbook that's a kind of a journey through the year.
Oh, yeah. Seasonal.
It has recipes for every month.
Yeah.
I was looking at it earlier, trying to figure out what to do with all these eggs. But all the recipes were like 2 eggs for this or 3 eggs for this.
Does anyone else have an egg problem right now? Because we have a big egg problem around here.
How can we use 24 eggs?
Let me just show y'all. Let me show y'all real quick about our egg problem.
I'm looking up here and I see 15 dozen?
Oh, more than that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
We had potato soup for supper. So we had potato and onions and mushrooms and sausage. Yeah.
Egg problem. This is scratching the surface of the egg problem right here. We have already cartoned
we probably have 20 to 25 dozen.
Yeah. In cartons. Mm-hmm. And we got some that we just collected tonight that we have not put in cartons. This is not it. This was already in here. Yeah. It's like a massive problem right now. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I moved the chickens out to the pasture a couple weeks ago, and I guess with all the worms and bugs out there, they just exploded in their leg. So, literally.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Rachel. Or is it Todd? Happy spring. Oh, no. Where'd it go? Yep. It's a great problem to have. I'm losing y'all. Let's see. Oh, Amanda, we'll have to get Amanda some eggs. She wants some more eggs. I'm gonna go some back to chicken. Yeah. Oh yeah, quiche. We need to do a quiche.
Yeah.
I don't ever
good.
make quiche, but we need to do that.
Yeah.
And Sydney asked tonight if we could have like a breakfast casserole in the morning, so like a
Mhm.
sausage.
That'll usually a good dozen or 15.
Sausage casserole in the morning, so we'll do
I have to
that.
make that tonight.
Probably.
Oh.
Probably supposed to.
I feed the dog an egg or two every day.
Do you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the chickens get the cracked ones
Mm-hmm. Or they crack their own.
sometimes.
It's a strange thing. Chickens. Yeah, we eat a lot of breakfast for dinner too.
Yeah.
Especially now. Like we went through a season where we had a lot of people wanting eggs from us,
Mm-hmm.
and we could not keep up with them. We were just like out there waiting for the chickens to lay an egg so we could put it in the carton, you know. And now it's just like, y'all need to slow down a little bit. We can't handle this. But yes, it's a great problem to have. I agree. We are certainly blessed.
Mm-hmm.
But we have like 80 laying hens.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just what happens.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready to start selling in a different way also.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can move some out
Mm-hmm.
that way. Oh, Rachel and Todd are here. Hi guys. Thanks for coming. So do you guys have any of your favorite recipes that you want to share with us? You're welcome to type them in, or if you have a link to them, you can put them in also. Like an online recipe kind of thing. Did you decide what your favorite meal is that we have?
Probably when we do chicken, when we cook a whole chicken.
Yeah.
Usually chicken and mashed potatoes and whatever.
Yeah.
Asparagus. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Our asparagus is popping up a little bit out there.
Well, that's exciting. I know.
Some of it anyway.
You gave me a little sprig the other day, and it was good.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? You know what I really love is venison. When we do like a deer roast in the crock pot all day, just have it cooking all day in the crock pot with some mushrooms and onions. It's so good.
So how do you do that? Is that like onion soup or something?
You can do like a mix, I used to a long time ago. I would put like beef bouillon cubes in there, just to make it taste a little more beefy. But then I was like, I think it tastes good the way it is, you know. Instead of trying to make it taste like beef, like this, it's just venison.
It is good.
And so yeah, I just leave it in the crock pot pretty much all day, and on low. And if I had some beef stock or something like that to put in there, I could. Or just water or whatever, salt and pepper.
We should do that. Pioneer Woman.
Cowboy quiche. Ooh, and I have that in my cookbook over there too, but I don't think I've ever made it before. I have to look that up tonight. Thank you for that. I love the Pioneer Woman, y'all. I think she's my favorite. I haven't gotten Joanna Gaines' cookbook. People really love that too. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm so sold on the Pioneer Woman. I don't know if I'll ever find anything I like better. Y'all are making me hungry. And fruit snacks. Yeah, I know. I'm hungry too. We need to do this live stream in the morning instead of right before bed. What else? What else do we love?
Keep talking about it, and Travis is going to wake up.
I know. Our son.
He loves to eat.
He does. He was just crying to me before bed. I'm so hungry, Mommy. And I was like, son, you have eaten nonstop today. Like you haven't even, you know, how could you possibly be hungry? I think he was just avoiding bed at that time, but he does act like he's hungry all the time. Craziness.
Yeah.
I mean, the girls kind of do too, but he's really an eater. What are some of the kids' favorite things that we make?
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. The girls, well, Travis doesn't eat mashed potatoes though. but the girls love mashed potatoes,
Mm-hmm.
and they love mac and cheese when I make mac and cheese too from scratch. But I wonder if it's in this one. There is a crock pot mac and cheese that I make. That's really good. I don't know if it's in this cookbook.
They love our green beans. Green beans we can.
Yeah.
They love those.
Mm-hmm.
They actually love a lot of that stuff. Salad, turnips, green beans, tomatoes.
Yeah. I was talking about that the other day to somebody about, it's not in this recipe book, about how our kids really do like a lot of vegetables. So that's good. But crock pot mac and cheese, if you guys look up a recipe for crock pot mac and cheese, that's really good.
What about those honey bars that we make?
Oh yeah, that's a family.
Do you know what that is without looking at it?
Uh-uh.
It's like flour, honey, sugar.
I don't know if you should
Oil.
That's a family recipe.
Well, it's good. Everybody should
It's
know.
good.
Everybody should know how to make that.
Hi, Tammy.
I don't think it's a secret.
You don't?
It's not now. Why would it be a secret?
I just thought it was something your granny made up. I didn't know it was a.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe
Well, I don't
she
have
did.
it in front of me, anyways. But
It's good though.
it is. Yeah, it just that helps us use honey.
Mhm.
And it's a dessert. Some people, hi, Happy Sabbath. Some people said that when they've eaten our honey bars before, they've tasted like brown, or what's it called? Is there a certain Pop-Tart that's like brown sugar Pop-Tarts?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember somebody saying that.
Someone said that before,
Pop-Tarts.
and I was like, oh yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Oh, speaking of Pop-Tarts, our friend Nicole, she and her little boys made homemade Pop-Tarts this week, and I was like,
Nice.
man, we should do that. Because I don't let my kids eat Pop-Tarts. Like the mean mom that doesn't buy Pop-Tarts. But if we made them and I knew what was in them, then I think that might be decent. She said it was really hard. Like it took a long time.
Sure, yeah, sure.
So, but it looked fun. And I think our kids would like to do something like that, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, I should look that up. She said she got it on Pinterest, but I don't have the recipe in front of me. But we need honey bar recipe. All right, hold on a second. I'll look for it. Let's see.
It's easy to do.
Yeah, it's not.
For some reason, it comes out different every time. Like I've made it, and it's totally different. Sometimes we're making it's like brownies. It's like, and then when my granny makes it, it's like more firm or something.
Like what? Like
It's
brownies?
like thin. No, it's like thin and
Like crisp? Like
Yeah.
crisp?
yeah. Maybe she cooked it a little longer.
Oh, let's see what I can find here.
It's probably something I wrote down. You're not going to be able to read it.
I can read it. That's the recipe I follow because
Oh.
I do have to have the recipe. It's somewhere in here. I feel like I'm getting closer.
All
And
these recipes. And
I do cook them. Were you going to say
no,
that?
I just meant you don't use them.
Oh, I used to use them. I need to go through this again and see what I haven't been doing. Okay, so these are the desserts. It would be a dessert.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I find it, I'll oh wait, here we go. There it is. Okay. So the honey bars are 3/4 cup of oil, a 1/4 cup honey, 1 cup of sugar. I think that is the variant because we
Yeah.
like
We use more honey and less sugar. typically.
Yeah, or
Or
you
brown
can,
sugar.
or white sugar or brown sugar. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different every time. You
Yeah.
know, we use whatever. So 1 cup of sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon salt, 2 cups of flour, and 1 cup of chopped nuts. But we don't usually use nuts in it, but that's the recipe. Mix all that together. You can mix wet ingredients and mix dry ingredients and put them together, and then you bake it for 15 to 18 minutes at 350. And then you make a glaze for it, which is a cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, which is kind of strange, but it turns out really good, a tablespoon of water, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And you just whisk all that together. And then after the honey bars get out of the honey bar, I don't know if it's honey bars or honey bar cake or whatever, but gets out of the oven and cools, and then you just drizzle the glaze over them, and it's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I wish I could give you a sample. I'd make them and give you one right now if I could.
We should be eating some. Like if we had some ready, wouldn't that be terrible?
That would be really mean. We couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Nope. What
Yeah.
y'all got? What's your favorite? What are your favorite meals or recipes?
What was the first ingredient? Glaze.
Oh, for the glaze?
Powdered sugar.
Yeah, powdered sugar. It was no, I can't find my recipe. Yeah, a cup of powdered sugar. I can, and when we get done with this, I'll just type these things in the comments if y'all missed them or whatever. Just let me know. I used to make a bunch of new stuff, and now I just 3 kids, a business, a farm, homeschool. I just stick to the same things pretty much every week. So, I mean, this summer when we're getting stuff out of our garden, it's going to be a little bit different because we'll be using as much of that as we can and coming up with new stuff then. But for right now, we eat the same things. I make homemade pizza 1 night a week. I already told you about the chicken and dumplings that we do. We do spaghetti usually once a week. I do like to do shrimp things sometimes, like a jambalaya or something spicy. So shrimp and rice. And what else do I do? We do breakfast for dinner. What else? Should look at my little menu.
Fried potatoes.
Things. Fried potatoes. Well, on Whole30, I've been eating a lot of fried potatoes because you can eat those, surprisingly. And yeah. What else do we eat?
Soup.
We had soup tonight. We had potato. And that's one I like too. Potato and sausage soup. I put in some vegetables. The base was some chicken stock that we had in the refrigerator. Potatoes, our sausage that I cook and then stick in there. Broccoli, onions, and mushrooms. And it's really good. So the kids pick out the vegetables. They just like the potatoes and the sausage. So, hi, Lorraine.
Blue cream cherry tomatoes. Never heard of that.
Ooh.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
He's gonna look it up right now because we don't know what that is.
Blue cream
I've heard of that, Tammy.
cherry.
Yeah, they just call them chocolate crackers, don't they, or something like that. Yes, I've heard of that, but I've never made those before.
Did those seeds come from Baker Creek?
Sounds good, Tammy. That would be easy, wouldn't it?
I bet they're good. We grew some.
Yes.
We grew some kind of yellow cherry tomatoes a couple years ago. Do you remember those?
Kind of.
They looked like that.
Did you
But
like
they
them?
were, yeah, the yellow ones I did.
Hmm.
I bet they're going to be good.
Yeah, blue cream cherry tomatoes. What else?
Recipes.
Yeah. Oh, I make salmon patties at least once a week too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're talking, Lorraine. We were just sharing some of our favorite recipes. I've done some links, and then I've just kind of read some recipes out loud to everybody. And if anyone wants me to type them in the comments when this is over, I can do that also. But yes, what are your favorite things? What are your favorite meals that you make, or certain dishes that you make that your family likes? I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, the kids love the homemade pizza I make every week. They get excited when it's pizza night, and I do too. Pizza is actually my favorite food. So, you, yes, I know. I see. She's so like me. Lorraine, crack me up. Yes, I've seen y'all and your bowls of food, because that sounds exactly like what we do around here. It's kind of just
throw it in there.
Throw it in there, and it's delicious. And that really on Whole30, I mean, that's pretty much what I ate every single meal. It was just like whatever, put some eggs with it and cook it, and it's good. Oh, okay. Could you do a video of salmon patties? I want to try them, but never found a good one. Yes, I don't put parsley in mine. Yes, mine are very, very plain, basic. They taste like salmon. They or salmon, depending on where you're from and how you pronounce it.
They're
good. But yes, I like them, and I think they're good for you. So I like for the kids, I make them eat one. Actually, we don't make them eat a lot of stuff, but like if I fix them, they're not just going to eat mashed potatoes. They're going to have a salmon patty too. My husband eats a lot of dairy, so we usually have different dinners. Oh, okay. He's also Mexican personally. I love pesto. Okay, pesto's good. I've never made pesto. I know that's like a confession I have to make is because I know a lot of people do pesto, and I've never actually made pesto before. What's your favorite comfort food?
Meatloaf.
Really?
I don't know. It sounds good right now.
Because I never make meatloaf. That's so funny.
You have made meatloaf.
I know, but I don't usually make it.
That's a hint.
I guess so. You pulled out the corny cornbread, which I never make, and
why do we do that? Why do us husbands do that?
I don't know. Hint, hint. I'd like to eat this sometime. He's actually. I think you're a better cook than I am.
No.
You just don't have time. Yes, you are. So Lorraine, he said meatloaf. I don't like meatloaf. So that's not my comfort food. I would say the chicken and dumplings. Any kind of like, because we're Southern, any kind of casserole is really like such a comfort food. So, and I don't make casseroles at home. I probably could if I would. I mean, we don't eat a lot of dairy, and so I try not to do a lot of recipes that have a lot of dairy in it, like most casseroles do. So I don't make them, but I will tell you something. When my mom has us over for holidays, and she will have like 5 different kinds of casseroles, and I will eat my way in all of them. And that's probably bad, but that is a comfort food for most Southerners is any sort of like casserole, chicken casserole. You know, Miss Nancy at school, she always makes that chicken Ritz, and it's delicious. So those are my comfort foods. But really, what I make every single week is my pizza, and that's my favorite food anyway. So, but the homemade pizza with the sourdough dough is probably my favorite thing. And then chicken and dumplings, which we don't make every week, but that's sort of a comfort food for me too. So what is yours? What are y'all's comfort foods? That would be interesting to find out. Tammy says she's having meatloaf on Monday. Lazy Man's casserole. What is in that? I'd like to know that. Chicken pot pie. That sounds delicious. I don't ever make that, but that sounds really good. I used to eat a bunch of them, like the box one. Yeah. When I was little, that's all we ate. Late at night, I crave gluten bread, mac and cheese, sweets, and lasagna. Give me all the gluten, but I never eat it. I just crave it. That's so funny. There's got to be some reason why you crave it at night. I am just like into this whole like amino acid deficiency thing right now, and I'm just thinking like there's something because they don't do gluten in their house, but there's something, you know. But I understand. Coconut cream cake. Now we're all like not going to bed because we're going to go cook something and eat it because it's this stuff is sounding so delicious. We made a coconut cream pie this week. I just had a couple bites of that after supper. What's your favorite dessert? Has it changed? We always make him the same thing for his birthday every year because it used to be his favorite, but it's probably not his favorite anymore.
I think it still is.
Yeah. I mean, we only do it once a year. It's not like we do it all the time.
Yeah. Was it a Hershey bar cake?
Yeah, Hershey bar cake. That's his favorite, if y'all know what that is.
It's pretty good.
It's really rich. It's really good.
Yeah.
What's my favorite dessert? You should know this.
Key lime pie.
Key lime pie. We're getting ready to go to Florida in a week, and I've already like been pep talking myself about the copious amounts of key lime pie that's going to be available to me. And I am not to partake of it all, you know, because last time we went to Florida, it really was like, to me, it was like the tour of key lime pies. You know, every restaurant we went to, I ordered key lime pie. That's really not good. That's not a good thing, good habit.
I think I like homemade cheesecake, like from you know.
Yeah.
From Becky.
From Becky. I bet Becky's not on here, but I have to tell her that you said that. Yeah. And Miss Nancy made us a cheesecake at Christmas.
Yes.
Yes. Our friends make cheesecakes.
That's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. Cheesecake is really good. Yeah. Oh, cake and cookie, berry pie kind of guy. And they don't do sugar, like in their house. So if y'all do sweets, Lorraine, you have to do like, okay. Oh yeah, I've seen y'all go to that. That's in Asheville, isn't it? Yeah, maple syrup. So I need to start doing more of that because I would like to use more natural sugar in our baking and things too. And we've got honey. Well, at least for the time being, we've got honey. Our honey has been going.
Everybody likes their honey.
That's, I mean, another blessing. Like, we're not complaining. It's just we've been trying to figure out how to ration it for ourselves because we're selling so much of our honey this year. dates sweeten stuff up a lot too. Yeah. Yeah. So, any more food discussion before we change the subject? Now that we're all starving.
That sounds good. The lazy man's.
Oh, I
casserole.
missed it. Oh, okay, I missed it. Let me see. Cabbage hamburger, tomato juice, rice, salt, pepper, tomatoes. Okay.
That's my kind of casserole.
That is his kind of casserole. Just vegetables and meat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, we could do that. I made a cashew cheesecake with no dairy for Thanksgiving. Is that right? But it was very interesting. Our friends, I got together with some college girlfriends last weekend, and one of them made cheesecake. And it had cream cheese in it, but it was sugar-free, I believe. I can't remember what it had in it, honestly. But they said it was good. So, we did, well, I guess we'll leave our food discussion since everyone is really hungry now. But if you wanted to share anything else, please do. But so this week we did 2 videos. We did a busting up the beaver dam video, which we're still doing.
Mm-hmm.
Still trying to do. And then yesterday I put out a video that Adam did about pruning grapevines, and I liked that. That was a really good video. We had someone, I don't know if you saw the comments on that, but they were like, I'm going outside to do it right now.
Yeah.
Because they had never like pruned it like that before, I guess. So, and I was just thinking today that I needed to consult with you about these flowers out front, because they're just like, whoa, crazy, these bushes, and I'd like for them to be nice and neat and pretty and flowery someday instead of just branches. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We need to figure out what to do about those. Pruning, since you love pruning so much.
I'm a pruner.
He is a pruner. He loves that.
Rip it out.
Yeah. He's like, man, if you give him some tools or like, what do you call those things? Like a skid steer or something. If you give him some piece of equipment where he can tear up things, like he is going to clear a landscape. Like we don't need bushes. We don't need trees. We don't need anything. I remember at our old house, it was like he borrowed someone's, was it called a skid steer? Is that what?
Yes.
And I mean, he went to town. He was just like, because
it was all vines and stuff.
He was like, I need one of these. He was all these bushes that have been there for many, many years. Like, we don't need these here. I walked outside and it was like, where did everything go? Oh my gosh. So, I loved the grapevine video. Oh, thank you for coming. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Set traps and eat them. Would you eat beaver? I'm sure you would, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not me.
I'm not going to, but I would.
Yeah.
We're going camping with the boys in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe we could trap one and eat one then.
Ooh! I hope none of their moms are on here, because that would be.
We should do that. Just tell them I'm taking care of the food.
No. I'm sure that would be code for everyone needs to bring their own food, because you won't want to eat what Adam's going to cook. He would like that, but I don't know if anyone else would. So I'm not 100% sure we're going to even post a video this week, because like I said, we're preparing to actually go out of town. So I'm going to be shooting a lot of videos this week, specifically tomorrow. we are finally going to reveal our kitchen and our living room, the main part of our remodel. And we have had people really angry at us for not posting that already. And the only reason I can give you is it's really hard to keep my house clean as a whole. And then when I do have it clean, it's like the light's not good, or it's at night, or it's first. Anyways, it's just like, I had this like epiphany today when I was cleaning, and I was like, you know what? I have waited long enough to make it look perfect. It's not going to look perfect. It's not perfect. It's not ever going to be perfect. It's just us. I mean, this is just our life. It's not going to be Instagram perfect all the time. So I'm going to reveal the kitchen remodel and the living room remodel, whether it's perfect or not. And y'all will get to see all that we did. And we're just really proud of it. And we're just thankful that it all came together. And that it's done. We're mostly thankful that it's just done.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are.
And yeah, so if you saw our videos this week, let me know what you think of them. Leave a comment on the video. That would be great. Oh, thank you. Good night. Thanks for coming. And yeah. Do you have anything else to say, or anything coming up this week that you are working on, or anything?
Mm-hmm. Just trying to multiply our honeybees.
Yeah. You were doing that today.
Yeah. This is the time of the year that the honeybees reproduce naturally, so by swarming. So I take advantage of that and split the hives and make more hives instead of them leaving. So yeah, good times.
Yeah. If you saw our bee loss video a few weeks ago, we did lose a bunch of bees this year. So that's pretty disappointing, because like we just said, we're pretty in demand for our honey right now, and it's being depleted from last year. So we're not sure about if we're going to have any this year to take off or not. And so
I'll try to make some videos of raising queen bees.
Okay.
Splitting some bees.
This week?
No.
Oh.
Mid-April or so.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. That'd be good. Yeah, I think people like the bee stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People are now really becoming aware of how important the bees are for life. I mean, for us to be able to live,
Right.
and so, yeah. Everything in the garden's doing good so far.
Mm-hmm.
Adam and Travis sprinkled cow manure on everything today.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's a little worker.
Yeah, he is. He's a good helper. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, we're getting really sleepy. I think I am, anyways, and y'all probably are too. So, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope to see you next week. And if we're on the road, we'll still hop on here and say hey to y'all. So, but hopefully we won't still be on the road at that point. I don't know. I hadn't figured it out yet. But anyways, we'll see you next week. And thank you for coming by. Hope you have a good night.
See ya.
Bye.